The transform option can invert its own transform using the invert transformation parameter. If we apply a transform to our incoming geometry, and then we press invert transformation, we actually take this and apply the opposite transformation. Let's see where this is useful. We're going to start off with a new transform, and what we want to do is isolate one of these bolts, move it to the origin, and then do some modeling in place, and then use that invert transformation to push it back. So let's see how that is done. So I'm going to tab transform, double click on that bolt and hit enter, and now I'm going to attempt to move it roughly to the origin. And what we can do here is we can actually use the local variable minus $GCX minus $GCY and minus $GCZ. And I think the Y needs a little bit of a touch up. Yes, it does. Now what the GCX, GCY, and GCZ does is it actually returns the bounding box centroid, or pardon me, the centroid of the incoming group, and it puts it at the origin. Space G that on the viewport, and a few more rotate, just quickly rotate it into position and get it rough, and then we can do some procedural modeling. Let's actually select these faces here and just do a simple transform up with the edit SOP. So we can do any edits in place. We can select some geometry, and then we can scale it up a bit so we can change the geometry around. And when we're happy with our in-place modeling using world coordinate systems, we can then take our original transform SOP, which moved the piece into position at the origin, right mouse on it, under actions, choose the option create reference copy. Now we've got an exact snapshot of our transform with all of its transforms applied. Now we can right mouse delete the channels on the invert transform and simply invert the transform. And now we see that we've now exactly put it back into its previous position. So that's a really good example of using invert transform. Some procedural options to this. Let's say we had a for each loop and we needed to grab a whole bunch of different options, and then we can move everything to the origin, do some work, and then move it back again.